suddenly my situation just seems so small, compared to if I look at someone that doesn't have a place to go to, that is living on the side of the road under a blanket, having to walk with a backpack with all these things, everything that he owns, he has to have on him, otherwise it gets stolen or, you know. So, looking at everything that is going on out here, the suicide rates of men, you know, being 5 times more than women in South Africa, and it's like the highest rates in the world, you know, and it leads me to think that this is a crisis. It's a unseen crisis, a crisis that like is being overlooked. You look at all of these things, you look at the struggles that you as a man yourself is facing, and you know what you have to go through to just make things balance. You know what, shit you have to deal with in order for you to make things balance. And we can't talk about our struggles, we can't talk about our emotions, because once men start talking about their emotions and how they feel, it's a man's world. You have to man up, you have to just deal with it, because you're a man, and men are like seen as just robots with no emotions. So that's why we started the MMH awareness campaign, because I feel personally, me, it has gone through something, and I went through a low point where I looked through my phone and I couldn't phone anyone. You going through some shit and you make a few phone calls and you know no one can help you. This it makes you feel like you are alone. There's no support, there's no one that you can talk to, because if you talk to someone, you get seen as a sissy, you get laughed at, you know and it makes men, go into a space where you don't like, yeah, ek het nooit gedink hy was dan so happy geweest, or he was so happy, uh, how could he have committed suicide? And it's things that people deal with, that they don't voice, they don't speak about it, because they don't have a platform, and the people that is around them, they cannot speak to that people, and uh, we want to break the silence on this one. We want to, you know, make this ride that we are doing, this bike builder store, it's to create a platform as well for men, where men can come, they can release. It's a form of art. People love bicycles as well. Men love bicycles. It's like a childhood dream when you have a bicycle as a boy. You just wish it was a motorbike. You're still too young to ride a motorbike, so you ride a bicycle and you make this bicycle look like it's, So, um, us doing this, it's to bring men together, to show men like, hey, you can talk, you can speak up if you are going through stuff. The family as well, them watching the content, seeing us speak to men and how we are and how we interact with each other, on our journeys, and how we support each other. It's all to show, people that this is, something that we need to be aware of. We are creating awareness around it. So every man that is going through something, you know, he will feel when he watches the content, hey, I'm not alone. I feel inspired. These guys are going through all of this, but still they are pushing, you know, and the other family members, the men, the women, and the other family members that are, also seeing the content, they like also become aware that you know, this is why this person is so quiet. Maybe he's going through something, And you know, as men manne wil net voel that they belong, you know, that they are secure in their relationship. They want to feel like they are secure, they have the support, you know, someone that can listen to them, you know. It's a crisis that we have out here because men are committing suicide and men are going to do drugs to escape, and they go alcohol abuse and all of those kind of things, you know. So we just um, want to say that we are here, you know. MMH awareness, the campaign we started, I started it, you know, when I went through a low point of space in my life, and through my journey recording and documenting my journey, I inspired so many people, and it has grown. You know, now we have started the Bike Hustle Crew, where we are, you know, helping each other, you know, generating income for ourselves, you know, as men, a support, you know. Yeah, a lot of men go through a lot of different things. So no story, no background is the same. No situation is the same. Yeah, you might go through similar situations, but it's never the same because the circumstances always differ. Certain things always differ. You know, it's not always exactly the same. So help us, support us in this journey where we are going on a trip, and we are going to create awareness around South Africa and across the world, you know, for men's mental health, so that men can start looking after their mental health. They can start going out in nature, you know, doing things that is gonna make them feel fulfilled. You know, surround themselves with people that will make them feel whole. You know, where they don't have to fight for attention, or they have to fight for territory, or you know, and you know, just be in a peaceful environment. When you come home, your woman just, you know, embraces you and loves you. You know, allows you to unwind. You know, because just imagine a man, hard work all day, coming home, just wants to relax, you know. Ja, jy wil net voor die TV sit. Jy wil net, jy's in die garage en weer besig in hy kar, of jy is weer daar, so jy speel weer game, of jy gaan rook weer zol, of jy gaan nou weer aan doen, of dit, you know. Looking at it at a different point, how, you know, men are just looking for an escape, for them to, you know, just feel normal again. So let's support our men out there. Julle weet wat dit is. It's your boy Nalo Vibes out there, representing MMH Awareness and the Bike Hustle Crew.